And it kept on raining. On through that morning, we watched the rolling fault lines out the open car window, the deep and brutal greening of the San Andreas grasslands, the tailpipe blue horizons, the low tectonic whispers, the sussing warnings of the hills. With all the cows and crows, we could hear the tires, that slick water hissing, and the edges of the wipers, a metronome of stiff rubber and glass. The car was rising on the swells, and we could see for miles at the crests. Ravens on the fence posts puffed and hackled, talking back to us in that reedy staccato language of Corvine's and the restless dead. And I asked you, "Where are we going?" And you turned your head and pushed the button on the handrest, and the window slid down with a whoosh of pasture fresh air and a spray of storm water. "To the lighthouse," you said. You gestured with your index finger to a vague point in the sky where a red-tailed hawk sat soaking on a telephone wire, its wings folded back like a cape, like a shroud newly opened, and neither of us spoke. I slowed as I passed, and your head turned to hold it in your gaze. Your hand was still hovering in the space of the car, still pointing like a child enamored by an airplane. Your hand, weightless and almost cupped, with your drooping finger guiding me to a now empty place in the sky before us. We drove on like that in silence, and I watched your hand fall to your lap like a sparrow that had just fallen into a false dark of a window, finding for itself a sudden and beautiful end to a short, miraculous life, fooled by a reflection. And I thought about how lovely that would be, soaring toward the open blue yonder in the midst of a perfect bliss, just like the raindrops falling from the open window frame, and the silhouettes of raptors with their heads cocked at odd peering angles that we saw all morning long, all the kites and kestrels, and that strange procession of tule elk, skylit on the hump of the meadow where we stopped to catch our breath, and you stood there in wonder with your gooseneck arms at your sides and your hands like birds pursed at the ends of your wrists. That's called To the Lighthouse.